Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to capture information about tunes and compare them. And we've come a long ways. We're kind of going back through and filling in gaps. And one of the gaps we left was there's a lot of tune metadata out there. So things like the origin or what book did it come from or other, I don't know, 10 or 15 other things. And we only captured the stuff that was in our sample file. And it's time to move on and capture everything. Okay, let's see. So I ran tests just now, and those are all good. All right, so what we're looking at is there are a bunch of string-based fields. Well, there are a bunch of different kinds of metadata, but the simplest ones, string-based fields, B, book, C, I forget, D, I forget, G, I forget. I don't remember any of these. They all mean something. And these are simple because they come as strings, but actually we read somewhere last week that you can have multiple lines of them, and in which case they become lists with semicolons separated. So we'll take that into account as well. But the characteristic we care about with these is they're really simple strings. There's not deep content in them. Contrast to the time signature and the key signature and some others, those really influence the way the parsing works. This is just we're capturing information on the way, and we can store it and show it. All right. And I think, well, we're going to start in Tune Builder. So right now, when you build a tune, it's got two aspects, really. One is this metadata. So right now we capture ID parts, like A part, B part, time signature, title, and then lists of all titles, which some tunes have many titles. That's one part, the metadata. The second part is the tune itself, the notes and rests and whatever else that make up the tune. And we capture that as well. And so basically this file or this class captures all that information, stores the metadata in its own structures, stores events, and then it calls a helper to turn the events into actual musical parts, A part, B part, all the notes and all that good stuff. All right, and we're going to work on the metadata, and I think what we want to do, so right now, the title and the key and the note length and the meter, that's the four we take care of. ID, we capture that somewhere. Where's the reference number? Oh, when we create the thing, we know the reference number for it. Okay, and some subset of the titles anyway. Okay, so we want to capture the other metadata. I think what I want to do first is make this a field, and then when I capture them, capture them as we go and adjust them as we need to. All right, so let's move this up. And the reason I can justify this class exists for one tune only, and then we write a new one. So if we keep that metadata, just like we keep the events, it's okay. All right. Some of them need more stuff. There's this initial state notion. I'm not sure if that's still, I'm not sure how we're going to manage that one still, but there is this notion of a tune state. Right now, it knows the key, it knows the note length, and it knows the meter. And actually, the tune state is the stuff that varies as the tune is parsed. So you can start out in one key, switch keys, switch time signatures, go back to the original, any way you want. And these things, they're corresponding. There's a rule that sets it for the header, and then you can repeat that same marker inside the tune and get the changes as it goes. So that's what that captures. All right, but I think for us, we're just going to take metadata and move it up. And I don't think there's a reason it shouldn't be private either. Okay. Actually, I don't know who looks at this reference number. Nobody. Okay, good. Oh, there may be some tests, but I think we can work around that. The search is not, I don't know. If I've done something wrong, it says in project, so maybe it's okay. All right. Let's see. So we move metadata up to class level. Make reference number private. All right. And then this starts out that way. Okay. And we add events. I think we should be able to put keys in as well. But this also, I don't know if we need. We have this information at the beginning. Let's store it at the beginning. The ID number. Okay. So reference number comes in. Title we can change. We can add titles. So we're not going to do anything with that. Reference number is the one that can't change. Parts, I believe, can change because you can switch A part, B part. Although, is that true? Does it come in later? I guess it does. Well, where does that change? I don't know where that one changes. Let's see if this one needs to be. Well, let's look at this one. Let's try and make this private. Okay. Yeah, whatever. All right. And then part specification. Find usages. Whoops. Well, I see tests are doing something, so. Okay, there are several places that modify the part spec. Test, tune builder, tunes builder. Okay. Well, interesting. All right. So these other ones we've gone, we've encapsulated them through a method. This one we haven't. Well, I'm gonna be okay. The part specification. Let's go to documentation. I want to make sure that really can only occur once. P parts. Using the tune header to say the order, then using the body to mark each part. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. That happens at the end. This test checks. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm not going to fight that one now. Okay, so we got metadata, the ID, the titles is an array of strings. Well, I'm interested in that usage as well. So let's find Tune Builder. Reference number. Oh, interesting. He doesn't know the titles. The tests puts them in. Interesting. So this doesn't really. I'm I'm getting the feeling that's kind of artificial. Okay, where's another production class? Tunes Builder. Okay. Yeah, so the title doesn't really come in that way. So that's okay. I mean, the tune builder is accumulating kind of line by line or instruction code by instruction code what's going on. All right. So I think we create that metadata now and we sort of adjust it at the end after everything's been accumulated. All right. I think we're ready to deal with books. Okay, let's make sure we're checked in and everything. Okay, do I have any? Let's see. Okay. That's titles. Okay, so make tune builder store string-based fields as metadata. Well, this is handle string-based fields. Okay. We don't quite do that, but we're going to. All right, so let's find B colon. Maybe we have to start with a. Okay, here we go. B. Okay. These are the header lines. What do we do with B's? We ignore them. Okay, so let's go build a test for this one. I don't know if I maybe want to break this up a little. I think, okay. AAC parser, event to parts. Let's make a new test. Okay, this can be, whoops, let's go back. All right, I just want to in shared tests, and we're going to make string field tests. Okay. All right. And it's going to be a lot like some of these. Well, maybe this is more of a tune builder test anyway. More like these. Right, yeah, because these are checking that the metadata is right. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it from the metadata and then drive it from there through the parser. Okay, so it's a little higher level test or deeper test, I guess you'd say. Okay, tune sub this, that's the metadata. Okay, so let's do this. Well, tune builder, reference number. We have to get some stuff in there. Events. Well, maybe not. Maybe we'll start with the parser. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to define a put method that puts a string into a field, under an ID or a key. I don't think that's that hard to write. Maybe that's something that should be in Tune Builder tests. Let's comment out this line for now. Okay, so Tune Builder test. Well, that didn't work so well. Track string metadata. Okay, so if we create a tune reference number 1, and we're going to put our tune builder. We're going to put some key and then some metadata. Okay, so, and actually there is a little bit of interest in this. Okay, so if we do tune.put books, maybe it's books, and we put the value O'Neill's. Maybe it's just O'Neill. Okay, that's the book we have. We definitely expect to get books to be O'Neill. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a member put yet. All right, so let's go add it. Put this back over here. Next to its class. All right. So now we're saying there should be a put method. Okay, and it does nothing, so the test should compile but not succeed. Tune has no member put. Tune builder. Well. Build failed. Tune builder. Put. I don't know why it's failing. Let's rebuild. What? Tune is a tune builder. Has this function put? It sees it. Shared tests. Oh, did I put these in the wrong? Should be shared tests. Yes, that's correct. Tune. I'm going to quit Xcode and start again. All right. Okay. I don't think there's a way for the IDE to add that method, but I already added it. So why it's not finding it, that's tricky. I'm in the right file here. Tune Builder. Okay, I've got public class Tune Builder. And welcome. Let's see. I have function put. Value of type tune. Oh, wait. Tune. Oh, I called make on it. That's why. Okay. This is really builder. All right. And then make. Okay. Yeah, make is going to let tune equal builder.make. Okay, so this is a little closer simulation of what's happening during parsing now. So it does the building, it incrementally adds stuff, and then it calls make to get to it, and then it can look in the metadata of the actual tune. So we're not looking in this metadata. That metadata gets copied over to the tune once it gets built by this function. All right, now this function should still fail, but it should compile anyway. Okay, good. All right, so all I want to do for now, where's my put? Okay, I'm gonna just put the metadata table, put the value in the table. So metadata dot put. No, I think we can just do this. Key equals value. All right, that should make this pass, but it's not everything we want. Okay, now, what, it adds to string metadata if value exists. Okay, so if we do this, we have two different book lines, and Hennessy. All right, then it should add to it. Okay. That should fail. Okay, because we don't add to it. All right. Okay, and now now we're going to look it up first, and if it exists, we'll put it in, and if not, we won't. Okay, so if well, if metadata, metadata contains, I'm surprised there's not a contains key. What? Let's do this. Metadata sub key is nil. Then we do what we did before. And if it already exists, then we have to append. Okay, so we put semicolon space and then the value. Does not like that. Okay, this we know is there, so we can do that. Okay. Now our test should pass. Okay, and then the last thing I can think of is if they don't have any at all, we still want to get an empty string out, I think. No, maybe we don't care. I think we'll let the client worry about that. Okay. All right, so this should still be good. Those warnings I'll let go, but make Tune Builder able to add metadata. Add string metadata appending if it occurs multiple times. All right. So I think that tells us if somebody puts information in the Tune Builder for a given category, given key, we will accumulate it. If they don't put it in there, it's just left as an empty, a nil entry. Now, the parsing of it. So what I want to do is make it so that the parser puts that stuff in the metadata, and then we can check that somewhere. All right, so it's going to be a similar test. I lost my test. Too much junk here. String field test, yeah. Close tabs to the right. Okay. Right. So, B entry adds to books metadata. Okay. And I've got to find ABC parser tests. Are going to have more examples, I think. Yeah, so this parse tune, I don't know where that lives. Parser helper, good. Okay. So it lets us insert header lines and note lines. And so we can put book lines in here. All right. So parse tune comes back with a tune, and we can look at the tune. Okay, so let's find one that's similar enough. Maybe these are. Okay. Okay, so the parse tune, we're going to add book. Let's see, the notes, we're not going to add anything. The book, we're going to add Smith, book, Jones. All right. And let's take tune of books. And this will be actual. I don't know. I may be able to compress this a little. Okay, so we expect this to be Smith Jones. And that can be a one-liner. Close enough. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, so if you run across book definitions, then you should accumulate them into the Tune metadata. So it's a bit of an integration test if you want to think of it that way, that it runs the parser, runs the tune builder, and makes sure things get from the parser to the tune. All right, which is kind of what we care about the most. All right, this test should fail because we ignore right now. Okay, vertical after opening braces. Don't include white space after opening braces. Okay. I turned on that picky mode, so I'm fighting that a little bit. Should be empty. Yeah. All right. So now ABC parser. Book is ignore. Okay, so we need to start handling it, and it's going to be similar to is it T? Yeah. Okay, so we have this header title parser. Okay, which is string field parser. So header title parser is defined up here. I don't know why it's not jumping to it, but it's a string field parser, and it looks for ones that start with T. I think we can, I just don't even know if we need one for books specifically. Okay, it sets it up, it calls it a couple times, and tests call it. I don't think we do. You just don't get that many book lines, so I don't mind creating one and throwing it away, but let's say, all right, so I'm just going to copy T's stuff in here just to T tunes and line. All right, so everybody gets tunes and line. Oh, we're going to find out that tunes doesn't do it yet. Okay, I guess I'll learn. All right, tunes line. So let book equal parse it, and let's make this book. Well, no, let's just create one. Let line parser equal bring field parser of B. And this is line parser.parser. Give it line. And then we're going to say tunes.put. Let's say value. I'm going to drive this to be a little more similar. Put books value. Okay, what's tunes.put. We add it to tunes builder. This is kind of a pass through. I'm inclined to just write a simple version and let it pass through. So public function put key of string, value of string, okay. All right, now it's going to keep complaining like the other one did. No, okay. Tunes line, set up a parser for books, parse the line, put it in the tunes, which puts it in the current tune, and let's just see how it does. All right, we've got a book parsing works B. All right, now the kind of the end-to-end of this thing, there is somewhere Well, when you filter, it's one of our transforms. Let's find it up here. Okay, filter stage. Somebody knows the list of fields. Maybe the view. Yeah, this is what I'm after. Okay, this is just static data that we put in to describe the nature of things. Now, I think in our case, well, these are alphabetical. Let's keep with that. We've just added books, and it's really lists separated by semicolon space. Semicolon is enough. Okay. So we're just saying this is one of the descriptors we're going to use, and it's a list of all the keys and a list of their type, as it were. Okay, we know ID is just a simple string. This one, we append them with semicolons between them. It's really more of a list. All right, so I think if I run this now, okay, and gosh, I haven't done a manual input in a while now. Let's see, it looks like X1, and then you have to have a title. Soldier's Joy. And then I think at this point you can put the books it's from. O'Neill. And then you have to have the key, which is D. And then notes, which I don't know. A, F, D, F, A, D, D, or something. Okay. And I think that's enough. You don't have an end marker. All right, so let's just mark this. Okay. We are looking at filter, and I can say books, and contains O. And let's look at statistics. Okay, so I've got the thing here. I can also show the books. How many of them are there? Okay. All right. That's working end to end. Okay. Okay, so in this case, I would say we store string-based fields as metadata. Yes. Let's start a new one here. TUNE-23-21. This is, I guess it's really filter and statistics. Okay, we've done the first one. B. C, I think, is country, maybe? Composer, okay. Now, I think, once again, this is like the other string ones. It's just a repeat. Okay, so C. Where do we want to add this? Well, string field parser. Okay, that guy's all right. String field tests. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And I don't know. We'll just add a couple different ones. This is composers, Smith and Becca. Okay. Should fail. Nothing? Right. Okay. Now, the ABC parser. Okay. This I'm going to copy for the moment. Okay. String field parser of C and composers. Okay. You can see I'm making them similar enough we can extract them in a minute here. But that should do that. And then our metadata, we'll just add that in. Composers is also a list with semicolons separated. Okay. Good. Okay. All right, now let's clean that up a little. All right, so well, I'm trying to think where should it live, but I guess it should live in this file. Okay, so let's make this be parse string field, and it needs the I guess this, I'm trying to think the word they use for these things. Information field, field name. Okay. Is a string, and key is a string. And it's a void function. Okay, and the body should look like this. Okay, this is the field name. And this is the key. Okay, and then I guess we also have to pass the tunes and tunes and the line of string. Make sure line's type is string. Could be a substring thing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is character. Okay, good enough. Okay. Tunes has no member put. Is tunes a tunes? It's a builder. Okay. Let's take a note to fix that. Is it a tunes builder? Yes. Okay. Substring. Okay. That should build. Oops, throws. All right, and then errors in here. Sorry, this throws, so that's okay. So let's call our function. Oh, maybe I'm doing this wrong. I think, oops. This has to be a function of tunes in line. Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do is call this field name is B, key is books, tunes is tunes, and line is line. Call can throw, but it is try. But what needs to be referenced self-explicitly? Oh yeah. Okay. All right, this should still work. I don't know if I can. These all seem to kind of do that. I kind of have to. Okay. Well, we can make it. It's a little simpler. All right. So let's just capture this piece. And this is C, and this is composer. Get rid of these three. Once again, I need to put the try in. Okay, so we've got a pattern for these other ones. I don't know if... I feel like I should be able to get... Yeah, this... Ignore takes those two arguments. I don't know how crazy to get on this function type stuff, but it would be nice if it did. Okay, let's try this. Field name key of string, and I want it to produce a function of tune builder substring. This goes to void. Okay, can I do that? throws. Okay, let me undo this. And duplicate it. Okay. This give string produces a function from tunes builder, and substring goes to void throws, and that function does that. Okay, now I think it's going to say I don't like throws there. Oh, it goes in front. Man, I mess that up so often. All right. And still not happy. Throws may only occur. Oh, yeah, I really mess it up, don't I? Okay, yeah, it's after the arguments. Okay, so I want to do this, and then this I want to be somehow at the end. I want to say return line. And then I can't lose my put. Tunes.put. Key value. Okay. So we build the parser with the field name, and then we say, okay, here's this function. You take a tunes and a line, you try that parser, and let's take parser off here. Parser. Try the parser with the line. Given the tune and the line, well, I guess parser there before was the right way. Okay. Given the tune and the line, what you want to do is try this parser that knows the field name and then put the key in. And now I think I can say this here. I think this can be parse field name be books. Like that. It's more complicated for sure, but I think that should work. No, missing something. Names. Good. Field name B, key is books. Okay, that should work. Okay, prefer void. You betcha. Unneeded parentheses. Yeah, that's true. Tunes line. Okay, and then we're not calling this at all anymore. Okay. Okay, I think extract positions 3 and 4. Oh, because we're going to turn it into the same thing. Okay. Just take this. This is C. This is composers. Okay, I mean, it was a little awkward to write it, but I think this is definitely nicer on the readability side. Okay. Refactor to kill duplication in ABC parser. All right. Now, let's just go on. D is, okay, we did C. D is discography. Okay. Which, I don't know if I want to say media. These names got picked because they start with different letters, not because they're the best name for this. All right. And filter stage tests. That's not helping. Metadata, book composers. Tunes builder, I think we've done. Tune builder tests. Tune builder string field parser. Nope, that's done. I don't care about that one. I guess this will just. I guess we'll keep their word, but under protest. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I get crap for it, but seen somewhere it's supposed to be easy to read, and I find it that way, so I keep it. All right, so discography. Fee. And we're just kind of checking the end-to-end pass-through of this stuff. Okay. Test will fail. Okay. Yeah, just the one. All right, good. Yes, blank. I'm not sure why the 2 complaints. All right, so let's add discography. Definitely a word I don't type very often. Woo. Okay, alphabetical here doesn't matter. It's more for us than them. And then the D parser. It's going to look a lot like this. Typing it 3 times in one day, probably have never typed it before. So, all right, should pass. Oh. Switched on Bach K. Can't type. Oh, wait a minute. K, G. Oh, I left out something. Yeah, new line. Okay. Still don't know what this arrow thing is. Okay. Next was G group. And it's almost more like instruments. Okay. I guess we'll keep the name group then. And again, it can be separated by semicolons, so we'll make it plural. Okay, so string fields test. Now, okay. I think I'm wondering if we should put the parameterized test stuff in. It's, you know, we don't really need to test this repeated semicolon stuff more than once. Let's do it this way. I'm going to duplicate this test. Okay. Repeated entry adds with semicolon. Adds to book data with semicolon. Probably don't need the word books in there. Okay, repeated entry adds to metadata with semicolon, so we get Smith and Jones. Now the B entry adds to books. Let's just do one of them. And we'll just keep the one. Okay. D switched on Bach. All right. So now I want to make this a repeated test. Let's see. We've got EG test in here somewhere. Text. All right. We've got a few tests that do this. Okay. So you call check with an example, and then you work out how to do it in your example. Okay, so test entry goes to metadata. Okay, in our example, I think let's pull out I think we want to say well, let's put our book Smith line in. Okay. And then here we're going to say we're going to pull the body here, generalize it. Okay, so the tune is $0.0 is the first entry in this tuple. I think we'll be okay shortly. Plus new line. Okay. And then we want file and line. B. Smith. Let's just take that as a string. $0. That's the input. Okay, we'll add a new line to it, put an empty second argument. That's our tune call. All right, and then this pair, expect, well, I'm gonna make this be a tuple is books and Smith. Now I could probably do better. Type event. That's just this. Okay, so tune of $0.expect $0. Okay, that's irrelevant. Okay. We'll need another in a moment here. Okay, so I'm saying you input book Smith, you expect to get back books and Smith. Okay, let's make sure this works. Okay, and so that takes case this test case. Then C, Becca Jones. We expect composers and Becca Jones. Whoops. Expected expressions. Oops, gotta close it. All right, and D switched on Bach. I'll drop the new line in a second. And we expect discography. String expect parentheses. Okay, so this is really a tuple. Now this, okay, let's get it and then we'll clean it. And I go back and forth on this thing. It's like, oh, it really wants me to put them in. Okay, let's take out. That one. All right, now, what I think I should be able to do, I'm going to make the input a little more complicated. You're going to give it a character and a string, and then we're going to expect books to be that. Okay, and so the tune is really input dot 0 is the B, and then we want, well, let's put the whole thing in. Quote backslash parend input $0 B blank plus input dot 1. We'll see if this is readable enough. I don't know. You have to get used to it, which is maybe a downside. But I'm going to be repeating a lot less up top. Okay, and then D. Okay, so now I'm just saying the input is the letter and the name, and we're expecting it to be under the books key. Letter, name, tuple, and the composer's key. And then, I don't know why he's complaining there. Looks like a trailing comma to me. Expect that. Okay. So your input is put that first character, put the input line, and this, and then we expect tune.expect. There's only one value now, and this is really $0.input.1. Okay, so you have to be a little used to these conventions that the arguments to a function, to a closure, can be just written $0. And then if it's a tuple, you can say .0 and .1, or it's anonymous fields. So this is .0, this is .1. All right. So I think that should be good too. All right. And I'm working my number one is to try and make this readable. I don't want this unreadable, but I'm going to be a little more complicated up here. And if you use B. Smith, then books should be the key, and Smith should be found there. All right, so I'm buying that. All right, and that's easier to do. All right, we said D, next is G, groups. Okay, so my next case, much easier. G, some group. Groups. Okay. And this should fail. Okay, we'll add groups. And we'll add to our parser. G is going to look like this. Field name is G, key is groups, and everything should be good. All right, H is history. Okay, so I think, yeah, this kind of puts it on them. if they want it to be one entry, no semicolon, they got to do this, which we don't actually support, but that's the standard. If you do this, you're going to get a semicolon. It's going to treat it as two entries. Mostly, this is not super important because it's our application is more comparing tunes, but we're providing a little access to this metadata. The text will all be there, and I think a human will be able to make it out, and the words will all be there, so a computer could kind of make it out. All right, and history is a great name for it. All right, let's add another test. Right, so the amount of work I want in my program, history, or historical anecdote. Okay, that test isn't hard to write, and I think the work we're doing here is kind of proportional to that. History, and then put it in here. Okay, should pass. All right, and S and C. And I think his notes. Whoops. Okay. Now S, I thought there was, yeah. Source, okay. I thought there was S. Oh, symbol line. Only the uppercase S do we care about. Z is transcription. Okay. All right. So S is source. That's a plausible one. All right. Let's just add both those at the same time. I think we've got the pattern pretty well. S source. Sources. Transcription. I guess that can be a note as well. All right. 2 failures. sources. And then transcription. And then okay. Well, we had an N. Okay. All right. Now these things, let's take a look at them. We had BCD. We're caring about tune body. BCD, G, H are not in the tune body. N notes can be. Now, I think they can just accumulate in as well. All right, but we have to worry about that one. And then S source, no. And Z, no. Okay, so N notes shows up in the body as well. Okay. And where are we? We haven't done A, F, this URL. That's interesting. Okay. Use defined, no. Okay. Instructions are a little funny. Words in the header or the body. Those are all lyrics. Okay. I mean, this is it's a complicated standard. I forget how many pages it was printed, but it's a lot. It's not quite a full book, but it's a lot of pages and a lot of possibilities even within these items. Okay. Let's see, where are we? Multi-entry. I think we have done this. Well, that falls out free, I guess, is my point. The thing that doesn't fall out free. Well, okay, we've done these. Done BCD. We need. I don't know if we need to worry about N inline notes. String R. Remark. Yeah, that's kind of like inline notes, isn't it? I think it's more of a comment, a pure comment. R remark to add remark to the middle of the line. Yeah, it really is a comment. Well, and that also sort of says contains comments to be processed as if they were removed. Okay. Lines which contain just a comment are processed as if the entire line was removed, even if preceded by white space. Okay. But R colon remark in this last example, that I assume is not removed. Okay. I don't know. Important clarification. Okay. We'll save that one. Okay. T list, we've done that one. Okay. We haven't done lyrics. URL. Okay. So the deal is like URL, we'd like to probably make it a clickable thing. At least have our code understand it's a URL. Now, the other one is this multi-entry data. These things where we've separated them by semicolons, they're lists. And this might be list semicolon even. They act as independent entries. And it would be nice if when you selected these list ones, I would kind of like you to bust apart the semicolon ones and show me them separately for statistics. For filtering, I don't think I care as much. No, I really don't, because you're filtering by tunes, and if your tune has a line containing that, if the metadata contains that, then it does. So that's not harmful there. Okay. Maybe this is the thing to do then, is to extend the statistics to understand what a list is specifically. All right. So we're due for a break. So let's take a 3 or 4 minute break. We'll come back and tackle the challenge of multi-entry data. All right. Thanks for joining so far. Take care. See you in a few minutes. Bye. All right, welcome back. I didn't look at my clock, so I'm hoping this is about right. Okay, so the multi-entry data on statistics. Let's run it and see what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to open up our big set. Is this no scale in ABC? And if we look at the statistics, okay, so here's title, and these are the titles of songs, but and that's like the first title listed, so the sort of official title that this entry has. We also have titles, and there's not a lot of difference. The only difference here is in this data set, this one has a semicolon. Now, what I would like this to do is recognize that these things are really lists with semicolon separators. And this entry should really, I would like this entry to be a Piper on Meadows string, and then another one that's an admired duet. Now, I think they've done it wrong, I think in this case, but all we can do is go by what we have there. These down here with the slashes, like they seem to be translations. So, and so does this, but there are other data sets that have lots of titles for things. I mean, so many songs have lots of titles. There's a fiddle tune called Leather Breeches that's also sort of all or part of Lord MacDonald's Reel, say, and lots of others. I mean, and really what it represents at some level, if someone says it's Nels Galen and they also put Deck the Halls as one of the titles, they're letting you know that there's a tie-in between these multiple songs. But I would really like to see what are the common forms of these names. And so rather than sorting just on the title, I want it to split things up into separate entries. Okay, so let's now I don't know where that's being dealt with right now. Well, I know it's in the view, statistics view. Okay, statistics is a sync. Well, it's probably in result. Okay, so this is the result is the report we're seeing at the bottom, and here you can see the table, stage dot field values. Okay, now where is that set? You basically select selected field, and then the stage says, okay, I'll give you a list of values for it. So here's stage. Where's values? Let's go up here. Here's values. They are field counts, which is a string and value. Okay, so field counts for a selected field and a list of tunes produces that array. Okay, and right now it just takes the tune, digs out the field, and then accumulates the counts. Okay, but this process, where you find those, I think is what needs to vary. Okay, so it's selected field, and then it depends on the type of these things, and we have metadata. So metadata is really telling us, is this a list or a string? What you got here. And what we want it to be is, if it's a string, then that's fine, just map it, okay? If it's a list, let's see, here's list, it's got a separator. We want to get that out. Okay, now that's interesting. As list, input string. What's the input? Okay. Input a string produces a string. I'm not sure what's going on there. Here's the split character. It knows its separator. Strings separate by that. Paths. As list. Well, who's calling this? Input, split it on the separator character. Well, that looks like what we want. Okay, only tests are using this. Okay, but where's the string one? Okay, we got to go to, well, I lost it. We want our stage. Statistics stage. So we're taking each tune. Okay, well, let's make tune count. I guess. So I think what we're saying is, if you used as list on the input string, it'll look up its split character. And map, trim characters in white space. Okay, so it splits on the character, trims it out, and then keeps the ones that aren't empty. That's what we really want from our statistics stage. Okay, but right now he's just giving us the field. And who knows where this metadata is coming from? Well, we are using the descriptor. Maybe not. Input metadata is something different. Okay. All right, let's find a test for statistics stage. Okay, so reports metadata. Yep. Reports tune count, reports measures. Shows fields with count. Okay, well, I think this is kind of what we want. Selecting list field shows values split then alphabetically. Okay, so I think we're going to take titles because we know it. And I don't think we need 3 really, but whale song, big song. Okay, so those are there. We'll let this, oh no, we'll get a count for that. Okay, that'll work. Right, so the tunes are tune 1, tune 2, 3, and we consume it. Field count, yeah, field values. Okay, so we expect cat song. I think we should expect big song once. Big song once, cat song once, whale song twice. Okay, because whale is here, and then cat song and big song. Okay. And field values should know which field it is. We may have to change the way the field value descriptor comes or something, but it should know. Okay. And this test will fail. All right, he likes that extra comma, but regardless. All right. We got 2. Oh, what's this? We got an empty with a count of 2 and whale song with a count of 1. Does that fit? Empty. That just seems like really, really, really wrong. I would have expected whale song, big song once, cat song once, and whale song once. How is that happening? Okay, I guess we'll go look at statistics stage and break here. So this is empty. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, maybe he's not empty yet. Oh, he was empty. He's empty. Whale song. Okay. Oh, debugger problem again. Okay. Titles. Why is it not liking that or that? Oh, this is title. Let's see what's happening with titles. This is in our Tune Builder. Titles.append. Does titles? Let's see how that gets filled in. Make metadata. Okay, the title is empty. It's title sub 0. Titles is joined by separator. Okay, this may be one where we're... Again, this never happens. This is sort of an artificial way of constructing a tune. But the titles... I don't know why it's coming out blank here. I would think it would come out with the full name here. Okay. Let's go to here. Okay, so let's look at Tune 2. Too much. Well, there we can see titles equals cat song. And okay, titles. But why didn't Tune? Oh, we're not calling Tune Builder at all. Okay, then I'm lying about what's going on. Fact is, there must be a title. And there must be titles. Because if it were properly built, titles would be filled in with the values. And we know there's at least one because it's a required field. So I think that's kind of a fallback there. Stage tests. Okay. So yeah, I think this test really does require the title to be present. But why are we looking at the title? Stage.field values. Where's the field selector? Stage.consume. Well, no, I think we need to select the field first. Do we do that here? Selecting field. We didn't really. Let's do titles. Now, this is a good place to make sure if it doesn't find a field, what is it going to do? But I think titles needs to be specified too, because we do build it. Okay. All right, now we've selected titles. It should split it up, and it won't. And I'm going to run the rest too, because we changed the other test. All right, and I'm going to skip the breakpoints. Okay, one failure. Well, hopefully it's failing for the right reason now. Okay, so we got cat song 1, whale song 1, whale song big song 1 is not equal to split up. Okay, that's failing correctly. And let's just make sure this one's still working. Right, I think we relied on the fact that it implicitly selects title before, but let's be explicit. Okay, now this, whoops, this yeah, the map in line 32, that just says fetch the field. That we got to do, but then if the field is a list, if it's a string, we leave it alone. If it's a list, we split it up. So I guess what I'm wondering is my metadata, should that do it? As list is interesting. Right. Okay. It's basically there's multiple cases depending on the metadata column. If it's a string like our title field or even a URL, I think we should just split them up by the locations. but I'm sorry, we should split them the way we're doing. The split of a string. Okay. It's really like, maybe this as list thing is correct. Like I really want to split up. I don't really need to split up string. So if it's a string, I just want to return this. So like, is this thing the thing that is going to do the work? No one's calling it except tests right now. So I don't think we ever quite used it. I think we thought we would. And now we need it. Okay. But I think what it should be doing is saying, given the input, I'm going to look at my metadata type. If I'm a simple string, then you should just return me. I said I was the title string. You should just return that string. If I'm a list, you ought to break me apart. And if I'm a path, I don't know. But if I'm a list, you should break me apart. I believe that. Okay, so let's find our tests again. Metadata tests. Okay, a string just returns a value as string. Okay, list returns array of trim strings. Okay, this should only be for lists. Okay, this all passed. I just changed the name, but I'm going to set up a different case now. Well, the one we had failing fails still because we haven't changed anything, but list of returns array of trims of untrimmed strings for string. Okay. If this is metadata descriptor.string and you pass that in, we should still get the original string trimmed. Yes. But that should be the only entry. Input is a string. You get back the list. Okay. I think this is going to fail. How could it not? Okay, you didn't really run it. Oh, why are you not trimming? As list input. Well, how descriptor list plus. All right, let's see his list. Oh, I think he defaults to semicolon. Yeah. Okay, let's make the test work that way. Okay, good. All right. Now this, okay, I'm going to do it the hard way. Yes, I'm going to switch on self. And I got one that's a case string. I'm going to do something. And I got another that's a case list. of let separator. I'm going to do something else. And then default, I'm going to do something else. Okay. This one makes sense for the list. Separator split character. Well, it's the list separator. We don't really need to get fancy here. Okay. Separator filter is unused. Why not? Oh, this is a return. Okay, we're going to return all that. In this case, well, if it's anything else, we're just going to return the list of inputs. Okay. And then this one, well, I think list of input. Okay, that's not going to work, but it's going to be closer. Okay, so this test, whoops, this test, it's not going to trim. Okay, so it returned with spaces, not that. So I want to trim it. And even filter it is fine. Well, I don't need to map it. Should I filter it? I don't think there's anything that makes that important. Okay. Now, that test should pass. Our other test may still be. Yeah. Okay, so our metadata test. Test uses semicolon. Okay. List uses semicolon separator for strings. As list of input. Metadata.string. Okay, this thing should be this. It should not trim and split. Okay, so let's see if that one works. And then same thing we said for this one. He's not gonna split. Okay. Okay, so I think maybe we're there. All right, and okay, down to our stage. Yes, that still, I can believe would have a problem. Okay, so we have selecting stage by titles. Field values. All right, so he didn't split apart. All right, let's see our stage. Yes, so map each selected field. Flat map. Okay, so selected field is a list of, oh yeah, compact. Please use compact map when closure returns an optional value. Okay. Okay. This is returning an array of strings, and then I want to map them all into equal levels. So I'm doing that. our case with one string, it just returns one string, and compact map turns it into that string. So I think that's okay. What do I know? All right, what we got? Cat song, whale song, big song. Okay, selected field titles. It's like we're missing the metadata for it, right? Yeah, we're not using any metadata on this thing. Tunes dot. Okay. Let descriptor equals metadata. Descriptors. Sub selected field. Okay. Now dot map $0 selected field. Okay. All right. So now at least we have the descriptor, which tells us that it's a list or a string or whatever it is. Okay. And so we should use descriptors as list on the input string. Okay. So $0 is the simple string. So let's do descriptor as list of that. Okay, so it that okay, if it's not there, let's do dot string. Okay, value. Is value array of string? No. Can I cover value of type array of string to expected type string? Okay. Right. So take each tune, look up selected field. That should be a string. Is it? Okay. All right. Let value equal $0 sub selected field. Okay, I'm just trying to find out, make sure my types are what I think they are here. Okay, value is a string. Okay, descriptor as list. Result. Return result. Okay, I'm going to reverse all this in a moment. What? Call list as used. Return. Expected to return string optional. Okay, he's waking up a little. Oh, still funny. Okay, descriptor as list is array of string. Right? I mean, yeah, that's returning an array of strings. Okay, and compact methods. Okay. Tunes.map. Oh, wait a minute. Something's weird. I did tunes.map for each. Oh, to set the field counts. Okay. I'm confusing myself as usual. All right. So tunes.map. Let's get the type of list. Array of string. I think I'm not getting flat map right here. No, I want flat map. Concatenated results of calling the given transformation with each element. Okay, numbers.map, numbers.flatmap. That's what I want. Array s.map joined, okay. But let's flat map. Okay, array of string. Okay, let's peel it back apart. All right, so this. Okay, so the return is crazy. It's not there, but all right. So I'm going to take the field, turn it into a list of one or more entries. For each value in that list, I'm going to increase the counts, and then I'm going to return some function of all that. Okay. I think I've done it. Okay. All right. Cat song 1, whale song 1, whale song big song 1. He's not splitting. Selected field is titles. Titles is a list of semicolon. Okay, who's calling split character? Nobody. Good. Cut down some cruft. All right. As list. So it's like it's not splitting it. Okay. Let me do a print. I think print will return what it prints, maybe? Yeah, thanks. Okay, well, it'll print it anyway. Let's run, nope. It does not do that. Okay, take out the print. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of do a do nothing thing in there. Well, apparently not. Insert semicolon. No. Print $0. Okay. Value of type tuple. Okay. And let's do this test again. Okay, where's what's printed? Huh. Whale song, big song, cat song, whale song. Titles. Okay, let's take a look. Descriptor is string. Title. Am I on the test I thought I was? Select field. Consume. But statistics stage doesn't depend on that. Consume. Oh. It does set them up the first time. Okay, let's continue. I think it's not updating when field values updates. It is not. Then what? Somewhere else that has to happen. Where's our statistics view result? On change of field, selected settings changed. Wait a minute. Okay, we'll open a file, get some statistics. There's title. Okay, I should be able to select key, time signature. Okay, and it's calling that again. It's calling consume again. Oh, okay. My test is not in the right order. Selected field. Consume. Take selected field, which I think defaults to title. So it's sorting by title first. Okay. We need to do a consume after the field selection. So let's do that. All right. Yeah. Okay. Take out the map. I hate it when a test is wrong. So we have to consume. It's a little weird. We're recalculating all the statistics because the field changed. Okay. All right. So let's peel this apart and make sure we're happy. Okay. So field counts. What we've done is we've added this call to as list. So we put it on the descriptor to know how to parse our list for searching, or for matching or counting. Okay. And then once we have them, we just run through them. But we're doing a little more work now with the flat map, because before it was always single entries and there was no point in doing a flat map on that. Now we're sorting by keys. Right. Okay, that's up for change too. It would be nice to have the option to click the title header and sort by count or key. But again, that's not the way it is. Okay, let's just make sure end to end is looking right. It's hard to tell in this file because there's only one title like that, but we'll make it go. Okay, so now I've got title. Where's that one with the semicolon? Huh. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's go to our input file. This one. Okay. I guess we're going to look for title. Oh, interesting. Okay. That was split off. And admired duet. Right. And I think brackets are less than letters, aren't they? Or maybe they're higher. They're on one end or the other. It is not showing up. Oh, that's title. Oh, no, this is actually working better. Title should only be the first title. Let's look at titles. Okay, now, there it is, an admired duet. Okay, good. We have made lists, made multiple entry lists. Now split their lines on their separator character, e.g. titles. Okay, cool. And we'll push. All right. So multi-entry data with lists now gets handled. Okay, filter and statistics. Lists usually separated by semicolons. Now show up as now counted separately in statistics. Whew. Okay, cool. Hierarchical data. I don't know if I'm ready to tackle that one. Key signature. That one's more interesting to me. The reason is when you're filtering, if you filter, well, right now we don't put key signature in our statistics, in our metadata. Okay. It's just not included. So it would be nice if it were, and if we could then search on it, but nobody wants to type the flat symbol or the official music sharp symbol instead of capital 3. So I'd like to make the filtering sensitive to that and substitute in something else that is searchable. Usually it's just B for flat and then # for sharp. I don't know if we can we see the keys somewhere? I don't know that we do. Most of our stuff is designed to filter that out so you don't have to care about the key. Yeah, so we don't show it or do anything with it. But that's one I would like to deal with next, I think, next time. Hierarchical data, I don't have any, so I don't really think it's a great one to worry about at this point. Meter, what is that one? In meter, well, we do parse that one. I think I called it rhythm or time signature, maybe. Hopefully time signature. Oops, that's a little slow. Okay. Time signature. Okay. Yeah, we do capture those. Okay, so I'm not sure what my complaint was here. I think we're done. That one we do capture. Meter is time signature. Okay. These other ones, maybe we don't have to capture it as new line. Maybe semicolon is okay. Keys. Well, you know what else I want to do is I want to bring in more sample data. Okay. I've been working with one person's set, and one person tends to write it a certain way. So I think if we bring in more and make sure everything is either parsed or ignored as it should be, I think that would be a step forward. Okay. Well, I think we're done for today then. I don't want to start this one. It's a little bigger than I want to mess with. It shouldn't be too bad, but it's not a 2-minute job. And I think the hierarchical data, I think this is going to be more priority to me. I think we'll see some hierarchical data with that, and then we can focus on that. But I suspect there's going to be things we're finding that maybe we need more fields coming in than we have. So, all right. And then these easy ones, I think we can just do them. Notes. Yeah. I think we can just accumulate them. They may just work as they are, or just had to add them as a header or in a footer. I'm sorry. We have them in the header, add them to the body parser as well, and that should just fall out. All right, they should be pretty easy. All right, well, thanks for joining today. And this week, well, tomorrow I'll be back 1 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. This week is short. I'm only doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but hope you can join me again sometime. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.